chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was bloom and addiction, a miss and a push and a picnic.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we have a dangerous team. The Vikings are top 10 in turnover differential. They'll be up against a Bears team looking to avoid a costly mistake. So, for the call of this Week 11 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are indeed at the beautiful state-of-the-art U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They're led out by their strong-arm quarterback out of Texas.
One of the things I like about Ryan Tannehill's game is that he understands what his receivers are looking for downfield. He played that position at Texas A&M before becoming the starting quarterback. So a lot of times when he's in the pocket looking downfield, he's actually running the routes with the receivers as he remembers them.
Carry now for Jordan Howard, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And we're going to peek at the offense and a peek at Alshon Jeffrey.
An absolute matchup nightmare for any defensive back. Size, speed, terrific hands.
2nd down, and the offense needing 5 yards. Again, it's Howard. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Eric Kendricks is another one of those bloodline guys in the NFL. His brother Michael also applies his trade as a linebacker. And Eric's trying to show him he's the best in the family.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Eric Kendricks in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen.
And he takes it all the way, but there is a flag down, so hold the celebration. This one's coming back. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. So they come out here in the eye. They run the counter now on first down. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
They'll look to throw here on first down. This will be caught at about the 5. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's caught at the 2. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal. Back to throw again. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Cordero Patterson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And it's early, but boy, they look good on the last drive. Getting that 4th down stop, they'll be looking to build off that momentum.
They went into lockdown mode, didn't they? And what I loved about it is when someone goes for it on 4th down on their own side of the field.
Gutsy.
Not only gutsy, defenses take that as a sign of disrespect. And when they're able to shut them down and put it back in their face, they feel really good about trotting back out for the next series.
We'll see if they still feel good here. Too quick to the trigger that time. Neutral zone infraction, and that'll cost him 5 yards. Here's Tannehill. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He's got time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Holding offense.
Now the Bears' 6th-round pick in 2014, Pat O'Donnell on to punt. This is taken at the 18. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, That's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. But it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings defense getting ready to go. Hope they didn't get too comfortable on the sideline. They had the 3-and-out, the punt return for a touchdown. Boom, right back out there.
They're okay with that, though, because of what it led to. And let's face it, they keep a statistic, 4 3-and-outs. Most teams want to lead the league in those as well as in takeaways.
They'll be looking for another 3-and-out this time. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Tannehill. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering what it's going to go.
And he's loose again. And he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down. And I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
Return team.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. 15 yards there on the catch and run. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 2nd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
His throw caught right around the 6. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's caught at the 1. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw again. And this will be incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
Now back to throw. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. He had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw again. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Cordero Patterson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. At the end of 1, 21-0 our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now it's Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Anthony Barr coming in from his outside linebacker spot. He buries him for a loss of 10 or 11. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here. Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 27. He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Flush to his right. Incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So they had great field position, but a 3-play drive that actually goes backwards, and then they kick the field goal.
And I think the key sequence in there, the key phrase you just gave us, a 3-play drive. Had the momentum, great field position, unable to move the football.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Wilson snags it left side. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
The tackle is made by Micah Hyde.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Now Howard. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot on
best.
the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Here we go now.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Going right side here, and that's complete. 1:59 to go in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Black 99 penalty. Here we go. Leopard. Leopard. Detroit. Detroit.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They'll get 17 yards there. And it'll give the Vikings a 1st down. And quickly, they get to the line.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. They're going to look to throw. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. second down now after the pass completion.
Tight right. Ready. 380. 380.
Out of the gun, Tannehill throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side.
380.
Tannehill on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Surveying the field. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll give to Howard. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. And there he goes again. Touchdown, Vikings. There as the first half is winding down, and this Viking offense is running away with this one.
Well, if you're in the cheesy movies, you would title this one "I Have to Remember," wouldn't you? His 2nd return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Then go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking it.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. They go with Howard again. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Vikings have done a good job making the plays they need to in order to get out to a big lead. The Bears have an uphill battle in front of them, but will try to claw back in this one. All right, let's roll those moving pictures. Bears will punt it away, and nobody can stop him on this long touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. Fourth down from inside the 10. Patterson's targeted coming across the middle. And after the short pass, he'll score. Vikings up now by 21. Bears would punt it away, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. Vikings way in front. So that'll do it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We're going back under the lights for the second half of this Sunday night matchup.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, with that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Now let's go.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Here we go now. Green.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And 15 yards here on the catch and run. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a
All right,
catch.
here we go.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in
Here we
question.
go now. Green.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bears will get the football back. And even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense have felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Catch made right side by Wilson. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Bears defense as they head out to set up shop now. And last time they got the 4th down stop. Looked like they might surrender points. Ball got on their side of the field. But then they snatched that momentum. What's that like for that defense?
Oh, it's phenomenal because some doubts starting to creep in as you're giving up yardage, trying to figure out a way to slow them down. But with some suddenness to turn things around, to flip the script, as the guys like to say, that's a big-time play.
Yeah, it was a big-time play. Now we'll see if they can do it again. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
All right, here we go.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Green 39! Green 39!
And they'll go on the ground. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Over the middle here to Rudolph. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Let's go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it is incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Hey, 380. 380.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
So it'll be first down here after the run.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Hey, dagger, dagger.
Running with Howard. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary. A nickel look. Tannehill. And he dropped it. Now he was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Every now and then, you have some volleyball training actually comes into play as a defender. When a ball's tipped in the air, nice play by the defense, got a hand on it. But when it's in the air, it's up for grabs. And too many times in this league, we've seen great plays happen for an offense as a result of a ball tipped in the air. So what you really want to do is be that guy who comes off the back line and spikes it, knocks it to the ground. Don't let him have that opportunity.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels. Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on first down. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and that'll bring up second down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Let's go! 3-19!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's caught at the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th and goal as they look to finish this one off. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal.
Here we go!
Back to throw. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. To throw is Tannehill. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And 4th down coming up. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's from...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now they'll run it on the toss. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Second and 5.
Let's go. Tight right. Here we go now.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Down right around the 25. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they're going the wrong way, as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.